guys, welcome to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. Last time we celebrated Squall's ascension to the Commander of Balam Garden. We also gained access to the mobile garden, giving us access to most of the world. After finishing up the Card Club side quest, which is probably the most valuable side quest in the entire game, and not even for what we've got from it yet, keep in mind that makes no sense, we came here to Shumi Village to draw some Ultimas, because Ultimas are very, very nice for junctioning. Pretty much the best spell for most stats in the entire game. This time, normally the first thing I would do after gaining access to the garden is I would be heading straight down south to the Centra continent to get ourselves a new friend. However, we go back into here and we take a look at my levels, they're a little on the low side for what I would like to do. So we're going to get back out there and we're going to go to a specific spot. The reason why I have the characters that I have is specifically because they are the highest leveled characters, and of course you can't choose anyone other than Squall. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our new garden, load up fast forward, and we're going to head all the way around to this continent. Not that side. This? No, not that side. Where am I going? There it is. I know where I'm going. Okay, turn off fast forward here. Now, I came over here earlier in the game and demonstrated something to you. This is where we ran into the VIII enemy. Now, the VIII enemy has the left and the righty guys. Now, I showed you trying to encounter them over here, and for whatever reason, it's somehow different in the code if you encounter them over there, or if you encounter them over here. For future reference, if you want to encounter them, don't try and run into them over there, because that's not going to help. Try and run into them over here. For whatever reason, and this has worked for me a couple different times now I've tested this out, the encounter rate for the VIII enemy right here seems to be 100% as long as you're hugging the mountain. Now, the VIII enemy is probably the most efficient, consistent, and effective way of trying to max out your level. Well, not max out, but trying to gain levels at this point in the game. Quistis, because she happens to be in my party, is a pretty good choice for this fight, because two of these pieces are weak to the Fire Breath ability. The righty hand there and the middle guy. The other one is not weak to it, but we can finish it off with a Dark Side and one of Squall's attacks, and we finish this up in one round. This is going to be very effective in quickly gaining ourselves levels. Now, depending on which levels the enemies happen to be, remember it's a range 20% higher and lower than our average party level. So we're able to get somewhere between, I think, about 600 experience per character and upwards of 1100 experience per character, depending on the levels that these guys happen to be at. This allows us to gain levels very, very, very quickly. We also get 12 AP, and it's all around a very, very good time. Now, the reason I'm specifically gaining levels is because I want to get my level range, meaning, say my average level was 25. 20% below and 20% above, if I look to the above, that gets me just to 30. So I want to get a little bit higher than that because I want to get to that level 30 range so that I can draw a specific spell from an optional boss, which I'm going to be fighting very, very shortly. So I came here before I started recording, and I fought a whole bunch of them, and I gained a bunch of levels. This obviously isn't that file, but I figured I'd just let you know that you can come here, and you get guaranteed encounters as long as you're in the bottom corner over there. By the way, this is the Lanker Plains. For some reason that changes, or I think it's also called the Shanad, what is it called here? Yeah, the Shanad Hill. That's the other area that's right by it. Just so you know, that's where I am on the map, in case you're trying to find it. So once we've got all that set up and we've got our average level at least somewhere in the range so that we can encounter encounter a level 30 enemy, Then we want to head down here. And this is tedious because this entire region is full of little tiny islands all over the place, and it makes it very difficult to figure out where you're trying to go. But our goal here is to get onto the continent. And in order to do that, we need to get lost about 12 different times because I hate this area so much. I just hate trying to find where I'm going in this area because for whatever reason, it never behaves and I never find the area that I want to find. So we found a beach here. Is this the right beach? This is not the right beach, is it? No, it's not. I need to get on the other continent, which is over here. Now, where's the beach for this one? I get so lost around here, it's ridiculous. Now, I think if I continue to go over here, should be able to get access to the beach sooner or later. Because you can't just climb up the walls. Yes, there it is. Always so bad at finding the right beach that I'm looking for down here, because the area is just a mass of so many little mini islands, and they're just so confusing. Alright, now you can do a number of things now that we have access to pretty much the whole world, but for me, this is the most important thing you could possibly do. We want to come over here. Over here, I always come off on the wrong side of the stupid garden. I always come off on the right side, and I always think I'm going to come out right at the back side, so I always park with that in mind, because every other Final Fantasy game. Thank you very much, video game. Okay, we can have a random battle, that's fine. This is a Jelly Eye. This is a new enemy. They're one of the most common enemies you can encounter on this entire continent. They have basic elemental spells, which might be important a little bit later, if you care. But we'll just finish this guy off. There's no need to worry about anything here. So yeah, after you've gained all the levels that you want to gain, you'll want to come over here. We'll want to enter this strange looking structure. This is interesting. This is Odin. Now, Odin is not what we're focused on right now. What we're focused on is actually the enemy that you can encounter in this room and the previous room. Now, there's two ways to take these guys down. These are tone berries. Tone berries will counter everything done to them before they take their first 2 turns. And on each of their turns... Come on, little guy. Help me demonstrate. Come on, little guy. You can do it. He walks forward. So that's kind of the main idea of how you're supposed to deal with him. Now, he'll counter pretty much every action. He's immune... Seriously, video game? He's immune to pretty much every status effect. Thank you very much. Did not want to kill him, I just wanted to weaken him, but that's fine. So he's immune to pretty much everything except gravity. So there's 2 ways of fighting this guy. One of them is to basically just cast demis on him to lower his HP. Because this guy, depending on his level, has between 15,000 and 35,000 HP. So it takes a long time to finish him off. The other way of dealing enough damage is to Squall's Limit the crap out of him. Now, if you come in here, of course we get Blasting Zone all over again. If you come in here at approximately my levels with approximately my stats and fight these guys, you should be able to finish these guys off pretty reliably with 2 of Squall's Renzakukens without using Demi or anything else. For whatever reason, they don't seem to counter as often to Squall's Limit as they do to other things, but they're supposed to counter on the first 2 turns. I pretty much just ignore that and have Squall go out and just use his limit whenever he wants to. If they counter and kill him, no big deal. They give no experience and 1 AP. By the way, then draw a point over here. You don't need Move Find to find that one, you just need to spam the button. So these guys have 2 specific abilities. One is Everyone's Grudge, which is their counterattack they use when you decide to attack them. And so he got his first step in, so I'm just going to try and get an attack off here to try and show what he can do here. Just get, well, I don't think he's going to counter anymore, but Everyone's Grudge is a powerful attack. It basically multiplies the amount of enemies that particular character has killed and multiplies it by 20 to determine how much damage he's going to deal to you. He'll walk forward 5 times, and once he's done that, he will stab you with his chef's knife. And the chef knife, I think, is... he's not countering me at all, but you could wait a couple rounds and use normal attacks to take him out if you want. That's entirely up to you. The only thing you can mug from him are chef's knives, which is the same thing that you get from a drop from him, if you're interested in that. But yeah, the chef's knife is something that will never miss, and he can also like stumble and fall over as you're fighting him. Hurry up and do something interesting. Yeah, once he gets close enough, he'll use his little knife thing and he'll do a bunch of damage to you. This one can't miss. I guess it's not a huge amount of damage, but... so yeah, that's pretty much all there is to these guys. However, once you've killed your 20th Toneberry, then something different happens. Now, what I've done... he seems to get faster the longer he goes on. But yeah, the faster... or the longer he's in the fight, the... come on, work, please. Press the button. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not saving this. It doesn't matter. So we're just gonna bail. If the game will let me bail. I could die too. That would work too. I really don't care. Hey, you ran away. So yeah, basically I've already done all this because trying to do this and, you know, try and scrub through all the footage that it would take would be tedious. And I didn't want to go through all that and have that all as recorded stuff, so I did it before the episode even began. And let's see. So that should be the right file. Yeah, there we go. And so yeah, I've gained levels. I think it was, what, about 5 or 6 levels I gained for each of my characters. My average level now is, I think, about 27, somewhere around 27. So my range of levels gets me up to about level 32. So what I want is when I kill that 20th, and I've killed 19 of those Tonberries already, I want to hopefully get things to set up so that that last one will be level 30. If that last one's level 30, good things will happen. Before we go any further, I just want to go over some things here. HP plus 80% we learned while we were doing some of our level grinding there. So that's how we have you set up. As far as junctions, all basically the same. Sleep, silence, confuse. Pretty much all you need there. You are set up very much the same way. Confuse is the important one to protect against. And you don't have any of those. You have hit point junction. Can I put anything of value on that? Zaga. You're not using Quake for anything. Why don't I have Quake on there? I have no idea why I do the things that I do. Put double on there. I think double's actually one of the best things you can put on there, to be quite honest. Yep, so we'll put double on there. He's got a little bit higher hit percentage now. Cool. Also, we took off Dark Side because we don't really need it upcoming. We gave him item instead. Extra defense would be nice. And there's one more thing I would like to do. Have I already refined those? Let's see here. I think I've already refined them. So they should be in here under... okay, I just had to double check. Under status magic. My brain stopped working. Mystery fluids. We get these from, I believe, Gyla cards? And these give us Meltdown. Now, I could have refined these a lot earlier, the main point of this is not for refining purposes, it's just to give 10 of them to Zell so that I have the ability to cast it, because that's all I really need out of what's coming up next. The other thing that would be nice to have is some protect spells. You don't need the protect spells, but it'd be nice to have them. Now, one interesting thing, and we'll find out once we encounter the next one here. Oh, by the way, I had my status up, or my strength bonus on Squall and my magic bonus on Keystis for all of the leveling that I did, so we gained a bunch more stats that way. Now, I don't know what level he is, because I think he has the same stats, or the same draw table, regardless of level. Thank you! Well, he'll get a little bit closer, but he's not going to get that close. There we go. Finish him off. And that kills our 20th. Once you've killed 20 of them, this guy appears. Not sure why. Most of the guides say around 20. So this guy does a lot of it sharp. Before we do anything, if you happen to have it, Mighty Guard. If you don't worry about it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to cast that Meltdown. Now, Meltdown inflicts a status known as... Let's see here... Where is it? I know I have an X potion around here somewhere. Give that to Keystis. Meltdown inflicts what is known as Vitality 0, which also reduces your physical and special defenses to 0. So, yeah. We want to do that, and then we want to beat the crap out of him with this. Now, this guy doesn't happen to be the right level, but the interesting thing is, if this guy is level 30 or above, he will have the full life spell. And that's the primary reason why I wanted to get him to level 30. So because it's a range for me, I'm not over level 30 myself, it's going to take a couple of attempts to run into them. So I'm just going to keep doing this and reloading over and over and over again. One interesting thing is you can actually run away from this fight. You can run away from this fight, and if you fight the next Toneberry, I'm not sure if it's like, if it just won't work or what the deal is. Like, I ran into the next one. Would you please run away? There's nothing to mug from this guy. Like the other Tonberry, he's immune to pretty much everything, so you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, so you can run away from him. Now, the interesting thing is I tried this before, and then I tried to run into another one to see if I could, you know, just get another encounter, and hopefully this time he would be a higher level, and it didn't work. So I'm not sure if it resets the counter, which is supposed to be around 20, or if it just makes, you know, your life more difficult and cycles around, you have to kill 20 more. Either way, just have a save file outside, reload, and try again, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, after far too long, we are back. That was a nightmare to do. Okay, I got a number of things I gotta go over real quick before we move on. I finally found him at level 30. For whatever reason, he would not spawn, maybe bad luck, maybe he doesn't have a level range, but he would not spawn at level 30 for me until I went and backed out of this area, grinded myself to level 30, which was like 4 more battles with the Visage trio there. But still, I didn't want to gain the extra levels. Not a big deal, whatever. It's just a pain that he would not spawn without it. 2, the timer on the screen. I don't even know what happens when it runs out, to be honest. It has to do with Odin more than it has to do with this, so I just ignore it for the most part. When you're farming against you're farming the original Tonberries to kill them, you want to, I just run out of the area when there's like 2 minutes left, save, come back in, and then fight a few more. Try and save when you think you've got around your 18th one, because it's not an exact science. Sometimes it's between, like I've heard some people mention between like 18 and 30 Tonberries you kill, but the average is supposed to be about 20. Anyway, so I came in here. First thing I did when this guy spawned is I cast Mighty Guard with Quistis. If you don't have Mighty Guard from Behemoth cards to get the barrier in order to teach her that ability, then just cast the Protect spell. That's the most important aspect of that. Anyway, now that we've gone through all that, oh yeah, see my stuff's all wearing off now? And now this guy's going to do a lot more damage with a number of his abilities. Let's get Quistis here to attack Squall. And I probably should have taken Sleep off of her status attack, just because of that. And basically, you want to keep somebody with a good amount of HP. And I don't have anything that wakes people up as far as items go, do I? Where's my Asunas? Nope. I want to target Squall. I want him to wake up. Yeah, so this guy has ridiculous amounts of HP. The normal guys had between 15,000 and 35,000 HP. This guy has a reasonable 2,500 at the low end. At the high end, he has 250,000 HP. Of course, that's at level 100. But this guy, I believe, is immune to gravity. Hey, Faded Circle. That's one of the ones we hadn't seen yet. This one hits all enemies, just like Blasting Zone does. It's a little bit weaker, but not much. There's nothing to mug from this guy, so you don't need to be worried about that. Basically, my strategy for this is use limit breaks, because anything else would just take way too long. And this gives me an opportunity. That's not the one I wanted you to use. Let's lower his HP a little bit and try and improve his crisis level. It's hopefully going to give me the ability to show off the final limit break that Squall has as a finisher. Blasting Zone, unfortunately, is my least favorite because it takes so long. And it seems to be the one he uses the most often. So as soon as Squall again and wake him up, hopefully he's got low enough HP that he has a higher chance of using his final limit, which I would really like to show off. And it would work well in this fight, too. Its Sharp is, I think, based off of the amount of enemies you have killed times 30, based on what I've read. Come on! Well, you should have a pretty high crisis level now. Finish him! Aw, oh, come on! Be nice, video game! Got one more shot at this. I don't know how much HP this guy actually has at my levels, so... Nope. Well, I guess we're never going to find out what his final limit break is. I've already mentioned it, but... Anyway, this was Tonberry King. One of the most valuable enemies to fight in the entire game because he's a GF. Tonberry King is broken levels of good and so abusive. Tonberry is more important than dealing with Odin. In fact, we're not even going to deal with Odin right now. That just leads to more problems if we do it now. The only advantage to doing it is you keep going forward, you'll be able to get access to more triples. But the reason why I've been going over to the Shumi village and drawing things over there and giving them to the one character I have who doesn't already have triples is because, well, Ultima is already a replacement for triples. It's pretty much just as good. Depending on what you want to use, you can either put it on magic and it's really good, or you can put it on strength and it's really good. In addition to that, you can put it on status or elemental defense and it's really good there too. Speaking of which, why did we want those full lives? Because it basically makes us immune to status or elemental damage. Is Shell better? Shell is not better. Okay, but yeah, it gives us a lot there. It's very nice to have, and it will make some subsequent things that we're going to do in the next episode even easier. So we're going to put that on everyone because that's just awesome right there. And that's pretty much all I had planned for today. It took a lot longer than I was expecting it to, but oh well. Next time, well, let's show off what we have with our new GF. Junction, we should probably put you on someone. I'm going to put you on Squall right now. And comes with new abilities. Level up and level down. We want draw on. We want level up and we want level down. We're going to show next time. As you can see, yeah, this guy's way down further than the rest of the GFs. He's an optional GF. You do not need to get him right now. I would highly recommend you do get him right now. And the first thing we want to work on is Familiar. That is the most useful ability we can get out of him, and we want that first. As you can see, this GF is a little bit different. It doesn't come with any junctions or any like stat junctions at all. Got Evade and Luck for percentages, which don't really help us all that much right now. But yeah, its main key to fame is level up and level down, which allows you to level up and level down pretty much any enemy that you want. There are some limitations, some enemies are immune to it, but it is so valuable and we can get so many things with it that we're probably not supposed to have right now that it is definitely worth using right now. And next time, we are going to go explore the world and find out how many enemies we can get and what we can get from them simply by leveling them up and down. That's all for this one. I'll see you guys next time.